everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast with a comic review. Today we'll be talking about Batman Reptilian. Batman Reptilian is a new comic that came out under the DC Black label. This is written by Garth Ennis with art by Liam Sharp and letters by Rob Steen. Before I start, I do want to mention, as I was reading this book, Liam Sharp does a little dedication at the beginning of the book, and I like to read that out because I feel it's very important to understand as part of the story of this book. For Steve Dillon, a big brother to many of us, the script to this book was meant for him, and I would rather have him here by far than be drawing it myself. I'm doing my best to make him proud, but that said, I can feel him over my shoulder chuckling a little, saying, "No, mate, you do you. Shame to waste it." So, as you may already know, Steve Dillon passed away a couple of years ago. Steve Dillon's was a very prolific artist who worked a lot with Garth Ennis. Hence, this Liam Sharp saying that this was probably meant for him. Garth Ennis worked on Preacher with Steve Dillon, and they had a really iconic run on The Punisher. And many other books, but those are probably the ones you may be most familiar with. So I can definitely see this book being something like seeing, just trying to picture Dylan's art. But I thought it was something important. I really liked that as I was reading it, that all these people in the comics industry still remember Steve Dillon because he's a legend, and we lost him too soon. Now, as far as this book goes, just a quick kind of overall story. Upon returning so Batman is in Gotham City after a trial. He gets word that two of his biggest adversaries have met very gruesome deaths. Hence, me talking about the art. If you're familiar with the work of Garth Ennis. Gruesome is definitely one word I would use to describe his scripts and his stories. So in need of answers, he sets out through the slums of Gotham to intimidate a low-level thug. So one thing I do want to mention in this book, Batman is not, he's pretty much out there. He's really using his presence as intimidation, as opposed to lurking in the shadows or, being far away, as we've seen in so many other stories. He's actually right there in front of the villains. Like, he wants to be seen. He wants to instill that fear. And that's something that I hadn't seen in a little while in a Batman story. So I'm glad Garth Ennis is bringing this. I think Garth Ennis has definitely set the tone for the rest of the series with his storytelling here, that we are in for a, once again, gruesome ride. This is definitely, like I said, this is a Black label book. It is rated 17 and older, as opposed to the normal, I believe 13 plus is the normal rating. So you definitely want to make sure that, mature readers should be reading this. And there's no gratuitous sex or anything like that. It's just mainly the violence. But yeah, throughout the whole issue, Batman's super intimidating. Even like the way, which kind of brings us to Sharp's art, which from the previews in the back, I believe this is all painted, or we get some previews in the back for issue 2 that reference how this is painted on. I don't know if this was like an actual canvas or if it's digitally painted. I don't know how Liam works, but you can definitely tell of the painterly style. There's a lot of shadows throughout the whole book, from this panel that we're seeing and the panel you saw earlier. It's a lot different from the art that Liam brought us to his Batman Wonder Woman book earlier, a few years ago, or a couple years ago. So I'm definitely interested in figuring out how Liam just makes Batman more imposing and a figure that does not have to hide in the shadows to get things done. But I'm very intrigued with this book. I'm a big Batman fan. I'm a big Garth Ennis fan, and Liam Sharp. I love his art as well. So I'm definitely looking very much forward to this. Here's the last panel I'll have, because Liam did all the art and coloring. But even the lettering here by Steen, it's located in such a way that it doesn't distract from the story. This could very easily take you out of the panel, like if the word balloon is not placed correctly, or if it's too big or too small. But yeah, this is very, like I said, Batman's all about intimidation here in this story. So it looks like that's what we're gonna get. So if you're in for that, then you're in for a ride. And I very much recommend picking up this book. This is out today as of this recording, but you can find it available in most of your comic book stores. I would give this a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect book by any means, but I think it's just very, very interesting. And I'm definitely hooked to keep reading. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to be picking up this book? Have you read anything else by Garth Ennis? And once again, go check out Steve Dillon's work, because he should be remembered. So I'm very glad that he was brought up as part of, at least the introduction of this. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.